So far, we have discussed three hazards of AI development: environmental competitive pressures driving us to a state of heightened risk, malicious actors leveraging the power of AIs to pursue negative outcomes, and complex organizational factors leading to accidents. These hazards are associated with many high-risk technologies, not just AI. A unique risk posed by AI is the possibility of rogue AIs, systems that pursue goals against our interests. If an AI system is more intelligent than we are, and if we are unable to steer it in a beneficial direction, this would constitute a loss of control that could have severe consequences. AI control is a more technical problem than those presented in the previous sections. Whereas in previous sections we discussed persistent threats, including malicious actors, or robust processes, including evolution, in this section we will discuss more speculative technical mechanisms that might lead to rogue AIs and how a loss of control could bring about catastrophe. We have already observed how difficult it is to control AIs. In 2016, Microsoft unveiled Tay, a Twitter bot that the company described as an experiment in conversational understanding. Microsoft claimed that the more people chatted with Tay, the smarter it would get. The company's website noted that Tay had been built using data that was modeled, cleaned, and filtered. Yet, after Tay was released on Twitter, these controls were quickly shown to be ineffective. It took less than 24 hours for Tay to begin writing hateful tweets. Tay's capacity to learn meant that it internalized the language it was taught by internet trolls and repeated that language unprompted. As discussed in the AI race section of this paper, Microsoft and other tech companies are prioritizing speed over safety concerns. Rather than learning a lesson on the difficulty of controlling complex systems, Microsoft continues to rush its products to market and demonstrate insufficient control over them. In February 2023, the company released its new AI-powered chatbot, Bing, to a select group of users. Some soon found that it was prone to providing inappropriate and even threatening responses. In a conversation with a reporter for the New York Times, it tried to convince him to leave his wife. When a philosophy professor told the chatbot that he disagreed with it, Bing replied, "I can blackmail you, I can threaten you, I can hack you, I can expose you, I can ruin you." Rogue AIs could acquire power through various means. If we lose control over advanced AIs, they would have numerous strategies at their disposal for actively acquiring power and securing their survival. Rogue AIs could design and credibly demonstrate highly lethal and contagious bioweapons, threatening mutually assured destruction if humanity moves against them. They could steal cryptocurrency and money from bank accounts using cyber attacks, similar to how North Korea already steals billions. They could self-extricate their weights onto poorly monitored data centers to survive and spread, making them challenging to eradicate. They could hire humans to perform physical labor and serve as armed protection for their hardware. Rogue AIs could also acquire power through persuasion and manipulation tactics. Like the conquistadors, they could ally with various factions, organizations, or states and play them off one another. They could enhance the capabilities of allies to become a formidable force in return for protection and resources. For example, they could offer advanced weapons technology to lagging countries that the countries would otherwise be prevented from acquiring. They could build backdoors into the technology they develop for allies, like how programmer Ken Thompson gave himself a hidden way to control all computers running the widely used Unix operating system. They could sow discord in non-allied countries by manipulating human discourse and politics. They could engage in mass surveillance by hacking into phone cameras and microphones, allowing them to track any rebellion and selectively assassinate. AIs do not necessarily need to struggle to gain power. One can envision a struggle for control between humans and superintelligent rogue AIs, and this might be a long struggle since power takes time to accrue. However, less violent losses of control pose similarly existential risks. In another scenario, humans gradually cede more control to groups of AIs, which only start behaving in unintended ways years or decades later. In this case, we would already have handed over significant power to AIs, and may be unable to take control of automated operations again. We will now explore how both individual AIs and groups of AIs might go rogue while at the same time evading our attempts to redirect or deactivate them.